yesterday. Ray Liotta passed away. He's obviously a terrific actor in his career. He broke out in the 1990 Martin Scorsese film Goodfellas, and he did that after starring in Field of Dreams, which pretty much launched his career into a different stratosphere. He was 67, and apparently he had passed away in his sleep in the Dominican Republic while he was filming a new film called Dangerous Waters. And he was actually going through a little bit of a resurgence. He was shooting several other films, and obviously we've lost a lot of good people this year in the industry, and he's just unfortunately another person that is left us too soon. And so but in honor of him, Pete, our first list today is going to be our top 5 favorite Ray Liotta films. So I'll start with you.
I start. Yeah, no, I didn't even know that he was sick. I'm not even sure if they announced what it was that he had passed away from.
He died in his sleep. So, I mean, it just obviously happened yesterday. So there's no details on it, but there was no, obviously it was shocking. I mean, he was he was shooting a film. So
certainly never like to hear that kind of stuff. But so my list, my top 5 Ray Liotta films, and I don't mean this disparagingly, but his top films on my list are so iconic that it almost makes the rest of the list feel like they're not even really good movies, even though I think that they're great movies and I think the performances were just as great. They're just not as well known maybe as his iconic ones. Number 5 for me was Hannibal. Number 4 was Identity.
Yeah, I got that on my list. That's a good one.
Identity, I thought was
I really like that film. It's such a sneaky good film. It's just a good watch. And if you have not seen that film, John Cusack's also in it, who's also excellent in that film.
Very good.
Amanda Peet, I want to say, is in it. I forget who else is in it, but it's just a sneaky good film. Like literally, I want to go watch that again today.
It's really good.
Yeah,
very underrated. Number 3 is Blow. Him playing Johnny Depp's dad. One of this, I mean, the best scene in that movie is when he's confronting Johnny Depp. He's about to go on the run from the law, and he's basically questioning his choices in life. And Johnny Depp, just in his cocky way for that character, is just like, but Dad, I'm really good at this.
I kind of remember that movie. I saw that movie probably way too young. I need to watch that again, but yeah, I do. I kind of remember that scene.
Pay attention to that scene, because after Johnny Depp delivers that line, then Ray Liotta just stares at him, and you can tell he's leaning in without moving, and he's like, you know what, Georgie, you could have been great at anything, And the way that he delivers the line, it's like it's what you want every father to say to their kids. That line has always stuck with me. So number 3, Below. Number 2 is Field of Dreams, because Shoeless Joe Jackson is an iconic character, and he did such a great job, and he grew up with me, and his lines throughout that movie. Number 1, Goodfellas, of course. How can it not be?
Pete, I mean, we got to do it. What's your favorite Ray Liotta line from Field of Dreams?
Ty Cobb wanted to play, but none of us can stand the son of a bitch when he's alive, so it's on the stick it.
Yeah, that was.
But I can't do his laughs, otherwise I would do it. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. All right, yeah, that's a good list. I got a little bit of a weird list.
You always seem to have weird lists.
I do. Well, I'm also trying to get, I'm trying to have a little diversity in these lists, because part of the point of these lists is to show appreciation of people's works. And, if we all had the same list, that would obviously not be as exciting. So my number 5, and this is just because it was such a different role for him. And it's one of my favorite shows, but it's called The League, which is a show about fantasy football. And he just
you incorporated television work as well.
Just roll. It's top 5 Ray Liotta roles, so it could be TV and film. I didn't want to, TV and film are interchangeable when it comes to these things.
No, that's
But
good.
but again, this was a cameo. This was a small role for him, but it was a comedic role for him. And I wish he did more comedy. I feel like he has a little bit of Alec Baldwin in him, where most of his career he's going to be known as a serious actor,
Yeah.
but he's got a real funny side to him, especially just his. Everybody's like Ray Liotta always had a very dominating presence to him. I mean, he was never really a weak character. He's always like you trusted him, and he's the lead for a reason. And so I loved him in this film because he was just really kind of fun and quirky, and he was playing a boss, and
Right.
everybody was afraid of him. And again, just a small role, but I thought he crushed it. And just for me, it just gave me so many possibilities of where he could go. Number 4, Identity.
Before you continue, if he would have gotten a role like Alec Baldwin did on a show like 30 Rock, I think that Ray Liotta would have killed it.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
He would have dominated that role. Go on.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know anything behind the scenes. We don't know, what his agent or him are talking about. But yeah, I think that was a big miss, unfortunately. It's one of the sucky parts of this is because I think he was about to go through, and his projects are showing it. He was about to go through, I think, another renaissance.
Yeah.
And, like some of these actors where it's like you graduate from leading man in your 40s or 30s and 40s to you're now in 60s, and like Sean Connery, Morgan Freeman, some of these guys that just crushed the senior citizens roles. And I think he could have been one of those guys. But my third one, and I'm not sure if you watched it yet. I need to finish it, but I started it and he was excellent in it. But it's Many Saints of Newark, which was the movie sequel to The Sopranos.
Yeah.
And he was Tony Soprano's father in the film. And obviously that's his wheelhouse. And he just crushes in it. And he was
that movie
by far the best part of that film.
Yeah, I watched the movie and he was really good in it, but and I didn't put that on my list only because I haven't finished the Sopranos series yet. So I wanted to finish the series, rewatch the movie again to really kind of understand exactly what that means, because there's a lot of information in that movie that I wasn't privy to. But yeah, I mean, the role was incredible. I mean, he did a great job.
Yeah. And then, 2 and 1 are exactly the same as yours. Field of Dreams and number 1, Goodfellas. I mean, Goodfellas. I'm obviously going to watch it again, and we'll probably actually watch that here on the podcast. But Goodfellas is, it changed the mafia genre. I mean, after Goodfellas, they started making a lot more mafia films. I mean, Godfather is the original, obviously, that started the genre. But I think Goodfellas took it, that made Martin Scorsese. And
well, Scorsese brought a directorial style to that film that nobody had ever really seen before. I mean, he broke so many classic rules in that film and made it work. I mean, it just worked. I mean, you never pause on somebody's face and keep talking or do anything like that. You never did that.
Comedy. It's obviously Goodfellas is funny. You're laughing. Like Joe Pesci obviously is so great in that film, but it made the mafia film like, The Godfather is obviously a very serious, dramatic film, and it's one of the greatest films of all time. But Goodfellas really humanized mafia people, and then added comedy to it. Like you're saying, it was just obviously that's why for a lot of people, Goodfellas is the greatest mafia film. So
yeah. I'll go put a victory next to that one for me. I win that list.
Oh, okay. No, we don't really compete in this one, Pete. It's more the
hey, but listen, I win. It's fine. Let's move on.
It's fine. I'll give you that one only because I didn't. Yeah, I think I'm gonna crush you in the other one. So